So I was gonna make this really nice and professional video, and I was scripting it out and everything, and I was gonna make it super beautiful, and then it was taking forever. So I said, never mind, we're just gonna do it like this. So yeah, I am so excited for my video. This is gonna be fun. It's gonna be imperfect and it's gonna be raw, and it will be a way for me to conquer my fears. So, I've been learning a lot about neurology, and it's so fascinating how we, over years and years of our life, over our lifetime, our brain patterns will do what they do. They'll create patterns based on repetition and based on what they think is the most effective way for us to meet our needs. But that doesn't always lead to us being happy. And so that's why people suffer, is because they grew up thinking, or their subconscious patterns saw that they should meet their needs by doing exhibit A, because they saw a result. So they're like, okay, I saw this result. I saw that my need was met, so I could feel happy, and that was because this and this and this took place. And so next time, in order for me to feel this again, this and this and this must also take place again. But what happens is sometimes this and this and this, in order to reach this, is actually not the most effective way to get there. That's just what our brain perceives. And sometimes this and this and this, whatever that thing that needs to take place is, could be detrimental to what we want in our life. It could be ineffective. It could be painful. It could be addictive. I mean, that's what patterns are. They're addictions. They're patterns. And so addictions can be good or bad. What we don't necessarily want, though, is when our patterns are leading us to suffer. And so, I don't know, I loved learning about this because I can see that I don't have to stay stuck in my patterns. If something I'm doing is causing me pain, I can rewire my brain, and I don't have to experience the same thing that I have been experiencing. It doesn't have to be a part of my identity. I can literally change who I am. So, a little bit about my story. I am a recovering eating disorder addict, anorexic, orthorexic. I had this idea in my head of what I should be. That I should be perfect, that I should be beautiful, that I should be loved and accepted. That is one of our basic human needs, is to feel connection, is to feel love. And so I felt and I perceived that in order to feel loved and validated by others, I'm not staring at the camera, I'm sorry. I'm like staring at myself, but here we go. I'm gonna keep going. I'll probably just keep staring at myself because then I can see what I look like. But I thought that I needed to be a certain way. I thought that I needed to see a certain result in order for me to be happy first. Because I felt that I needed to be beautiful. I needed to be skinny in order to be accepted and loved. And so I thought I was actually helping myself. I looked up all these different ways that I could be healthy. And I was like, okay, I'm doing like what is it called? Self-improvement. This is self-development. And I started working out more. I started eating healthier, but slowly I got obsessed with it, and I was doing it out of the wrong state of mind. Instead of doing it with self-love and acceptance for myself, and instead of doing it accepting myself and being happy in the moment, I did it with the need to see a certain result in order to be happy, and I did it without accepting who I presently was, and I did it with this state of fear, where I was afraid if I didn't reach that result, that I wouldn't be loved and accepted. And so I was avoiding not having that result. I was doing everything I could so that I could appear the way I wanted, and so that I would be validated by other people. And so that led to a lot of problems. I was stuck. I kept doing the same thing over and over and over again. I would finally I would set a goal of being like 10 pounds less, and I would reach that goal, and it wasn't good enough. I would think, okay, well, I don't look as thin as I want to, and I developed, I think, body dysmorphia, where I didn't even see how I didn't see myself as, basically, if I had any fat on me, I felt like I was fat, even though that doesn't, I had anorexia. That's like the basic, one of the side effects of it. And so I was stuck in this pattern of kind of yo-yo dieting, orthorexia, putting these food rules on myself. And if I didn't do good enough that day, I would feel guilty. And if I didn't look a certain way, if I didn't meet an expectation that I had for myself, then I would feel like a bad person. I would feel like I wasn't worthy of love or acceptance. And so this carried on for a long time, and finally I realized this was so painful. It just consumed my mind. All I thought about was food, and I just knew it wasn't sustainable. I knew I needed help. It was really, really hard for me to let go, though, because I had all these different patterns and beliefs of how things should be. But finally I realized, okay, like, I watched some YouTube videos. I should have probably seen a nutritionist. I never did. I didn't want to admit that I needed help. I talked to my mom. I read the 6 steps to addiction recovery, 12 steps book, and I watched a bunch of nutrition overcoming eating disorder videos on YouTube, which really helped me to see what I needed to do, that I needed to stop dieting, I needed to just eat normally, and it was really, really hard, but slowly I saw progress, and it was amazing, but also scary, because I still had a lot of fear behind letting go, and I still didn't accept and love myself for who I was. I still, in order to be happy, I wanted to see this result. I wanted to say, okay, I'll recover, but then I'll lose whatever weight I gain, and I'll be at this healthy weight, and if I'm not there, I'm still not worthy of love, but I know I'll get there. But really what I needed, even though I was on the right track, I needed to love myself first. And so, anyway, time passed by. I ended up serving a church service mission. So I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we have an opportunity to serve a mission for a period of time, 18 months to 2 years. So I decided I wanted to serve, and I probably actually should have gotten help with my nutrition first before going out, but I thought I was fine. I was eating at least, so I was like, okay, as long as I'm not starving myself. I promised myself that I wouldn't, because I saw the harm that came from that. I decided it would be okay to go, and I filled out the papers to go, and I was so excited to serve the church. I was so excited to serve the Lord and just to serve the people. I went on this mission, and it was the most incredible experience, but also it was so hard for me, because I wasn't completely healed, and I set up this framework in my mind that in order to be happy, I had to see a certain result, and in order to be a good person, I had to do these certain things the right way. And so I actually started to have a lot of anxiety, because on the mission we have to do a lot of stuff. We're really busy. We talk to a lot of people, and I was constantly talking to people, had so much stress about saying the right things, making the right impression, and we faced a lot of rejection, because of course that's the nature of it, right? And so I started actually getting very, very, very stuck in these patterns of feeling just stuck, not good enough, feeling disappointed in myself, because for some reason I believed that if I felt that way, that it would help me meet my needs. And so when I got home from my mission, I was able to stay out the whole time, and I felt like I would be okay. but it wasn't necessarily always enjoyable for me because I was like working through these things. But when I got home, I was like, okay, I'm gonna figure out like if there's things I can do to help myself be more happy, and feel not stuck and feel like I don't have to be so hard on myself all the time. And so I actually met with a life coach who had taught me so much, who he taught me about neurons and how we can, when our needs are met, that is what creates an emotion inside of us, and that's what drives us, and that's what creates these patterns inside of our brain. And it's all based on perception and how we see things. And so if we can give things different meaning and change the way that we can see things, then we no longer need to see a specific result to be happy. And we can start allowing ourselves to be happy in the moment and be grateful. And so I want to create a YouTube channel actually to help people like me who suffer with these patterns that are making them feel stuck, and helping them see how they can rewire their brains and set goals for success and just live their best lives. I know that there are so many people who are probably like me who feel like they can't be happy in the moment and feel like a certain result needs to be reached first, and that they have these high expectations for themselves because they think that putting that expectation on themselves is gonna help them. But really, it's those expectations or those fears of not meeting those expectations that just make it so miserable, that make our journey so hard. And so I think, wow, that was an epiphany. Okay, right before I started recording this video, I was recording other videos. I had them scripted. They were gonna say the perfect things. And I just had this expectation for my videos, and I was in this confined state of mind for sure, even though I didn't think I was, because I was smiling in the videos and I was talking about something I loved. I was so stressed because I had this expectation that I felt like I needed to be a certain place in my videos. I needed the videos to be really good, or else that meant that I wasn't good enough. Now I'm realizing that that is a pattern that I can work on, and that's so awesome. But yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel because I'm learning. I'm still struggling with like a lot of this. I'm not perfect, but I know so much more, and I am so happy. And when I get into that confined state of mind where I feel stuck and I feel like urgent, I have this expectation for myself that if I don't meet it, then I get down on myself. I'm able to get out of that pattern and just feel free and feel grateful and remind myself that there's no urgency, there's no expectation, and we're always worthy of love, and that we can really reach our full potential if we just learn to love and accept ourselves as we are, and just visualize and create an identity for ourselves and believe that we truly are the people that we want to be. Anyway, so yeah, subscribe to my channel, I guess is my invitation to you, and like it. I don't know if I'm actually going to post this on YouTube, but, yeah, also, I'm doing one-to-one coaching. I've been training on how to, like, coach people, and so if you're interested in doing one-to-one coaching, I'm thinking of just charging $20 a session, and each session would be an hour long. So I'm doing, like, a package of, like, you'd have to do like 5 sessions, and I would do $20 per session, and we would just go through limiting beliefs and work through them and see how we can change that into more of a not limiting belief. What is that called? Just rewire your brain. But yeah, if you're interested in that, please comment below and I'll message you, and let me know what you think, and give me any advice about this video if you have any. And yeah, thank you guys so much.